Hi friends, welcome to this how-to video on crow pose. Crow pose is an arm balance. It's one of the first arm balances that a lot of yogis learn. It's a fun one. It is a lot of shoulder strength, but also a lot of core strength. And learning to arm balance can be scary, so I'm going to share a few little tricks that will hopefully help you take some flight in your crow. So when we are in an arm balance is our counterbalances. We're balancing on our hands and our front is going forward and our back is trying to pull us back, so we need to try and find that counterbalance in order to hold a crow pose. So because our lower half is heavier than our top half, we have to pitch forward further than seems comfortable in some regards. And it can be a little bit scary because you're going so far forward you feel like you're going to face plant or you're going to just topple over. So if it would make you feel more comfortable, you can get a cushion and set it on the mat in front of you, or you can go in front of a couch so you have something soft to kind of land on. But hopefully after this little tutorial, after you try a few little things, you'll have more confidence. So when we're doing crow pose, as you can already see, I'm kind of in this squatty pose here. So I'm in this little squat and I'm going to root down through my hands, kind of how you would with a plank. So you want your hands shoulder width distance apart, and you want to spin the eye of your elbows forward, and your index fingers are pointed forward. You don't want to have narrow hands because that doesn't give you much of a base, much of a foundation to hold yourself up on. So go ahead and spread your fingers quite wide, and you're going to claw the mat like you do in down dog or plank. So now that we've got our hands in the right spot and you're now in this squatty position, we're wanting to bring our knees onto our triceps. So you're going to kind of come up onto your toes, or you can come into a forward fold, but you're going to bring your knees towards your triceps. You're engaging your core and you're squeezing. You're not going to let your thighs go out. You want to try and keep them in towards each other. So knees on triceps, and then we're going to just pitch forward. When you go forward, the tendency is to look straight down. If you're looking straight down, you're going to topple. If you look out, you're going to go out. So we want to have our gaze more out towards the front of our mat than straight down in front of us. So think of a triangle. You could even put a block here. Kitty's in the way, so this might be too big of a triangle. But you can look at your block. Your block can also be what your forehead kind of rests against when you pitch forward, to just give you a little bit more stability and see what you're aiming for. So we've got our hands in plank, eye of the elbows are pointed forward, knees are into our triceps, and we're trying to squeeze our thighs towards one another. And then we're going to just pitch forward, my gaze is forward, and once you're here, go ahead and try and lift one foot, lift the other foot. Also, you can put a generous bend in your elbows, not too much because you don't want to counterbalance backwards. But so go ahead, we'll try it again. So come forward. So I'm up on my toes. Try lifting one foot and then lift your other foot. And if you're feeling good and strong, your core is engaged, you can try to lift both feet to get a little bit of lift. If you want, you can use that block to gently rest your forehead against it. You're not putting a lot of weight into your forehead, cranking on your neck. Okay, and then come back out of it. Making sure to roll out your wrists. This is a lot of weight on our wrists. Our wrists are not used to holding our entire body weight on them, so make sure that you're taking care of your wrists. I have a wrist health video that you can try if you need to stretch or strengthen your wrists. I've got some tips and tricks in there. Another thing that can be helpful with crow is if you use a block under your feet, so you get a little bit more lift already. So you're going to come up onto your block, and as you can see, my feet are already lifted, so it's going to be easier to have some lift off. So go ahead and root down through your hands, wide base, eye of the elbows are spun forward, bringing our knees onto our triceps, gaze is forward, and I'm already quite lifted here, as you can see. And so then go ahead and just try and lift your feet up off that block. Holding and breathing, core is engaged, and then gently come back down. Hopefully that gave you some help on your way to arm balancing. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll get back to you. And I hope that you have fun taking flight in crow pose.